Giannis Antetokounmpo trade debate. Move now or wait until summer. As the NBA trade deadline approaches, the league is buzzing with one massive question. What happens next with Giannis Antetokounmpo? The Milwaukee Bucks superstar is now clearly available in trade talks, and with only days left before the February 5th deadline, teams must decide whether to act immediately or wait until the offseason. This situation is complex, emotional, and risky for everyone involved. The decision will not only shape the Bucks' future, but could also change the balance of power across the NBA. Why some teams want Giannis right now? For teams chasing a championship, trading for Giannis before the deadline is very tempting. Acquiring him now means one extra playoff run, and for contenders, that is extremely valuable. Giannis is still one of the most dominant players in basketball. He can change a team overnight with his scoring, defense, and leadership. At 31 years old, he is still in his prime, but those peak years will not last forever. Teams know this and feel pressure to act fast. From Giannis' side, a midseason move could also make sense. Instead of finishing a season with a team that might fall short, he could immediately join a contender and fight for another championship. For a player of his level, wasting a season is not an option. Why waiting makes sense for the Bucks. While other teams may feel rushed, the Milwaukee Bucks do not need to hurry. Trading a franchise player is not about speed, it is about value. If the Bucks wait until the summer, more teams will be able to make serious offers. More draft picks will become available. Draft positions will be known after the lottery. Trade packages will be easier to compare. The Bucks front office has one clear goal: get the best possible return. That is much harder to do at the deadline unless a team makes a massive, all-in offer. Waiting increases competition, and competition increases value. The Bucks have spent years building around Giannis. If they move him, it must be done the right way, with no shortcuts. Teams feeling the most pressure. Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are often mentioned as the most urgent suitor. Stephen Curry is near the end of his prime, and Golden State knows its championship window is closing. Giannis could give them one last elite run. They can offer young players and future draft picks, but many of those picks are expected to be late in the draft, which lowers their value. Miami Heat. Miami is another team closely linked to Giannis. Pairing him with Bam Adebayo would instantly make the Heat a serious contender in the East. However, Miami's best trade packages become possible in the summer, not right now. That makes patience the smarter move for both sides. Other possible teams. Teams like the Knicks, Timberwolves, Rockets, and Spurs could enter the conversation later. Some of them have young stars and strong draft assets that could outperform current offers once the season ends and rosters are fully evaluated. The Giannis factor: what does he want? No trade of this size happens without considering the player's wishes. Teams will hesitate to give up major assets unless they believe Giannis will stay long-term. If Giannis clearly prefers one destination, that could heavily influence the timing and outcome of the trade. His quiet leverage matters more than any public rumor. Most likely scenario. At this point, the most realistic outcome is no trade before the deadline. Unless a team makes an overwhelming offer that the Bucks cannot refuse, waiting until the summer gives Milwaukee more options and better leverage. History shows that patience in these situations often leads to stronger returns. Still, the NBA is unpredictable. A desperate team, a bold owner, or a clear signal from Giannis could change everything in a matter of hours. For now, the league waits and watches as one of the biggest trade stories in NBA history continues to unfold.